Hey guys, Jason here, 1952 Jeep. I want to share with y'all a couple of recent purchases that I got. My wife has been looking for one of these breakfast skillets. It's a Griswold colonial breakfast skillet, model number 666 of all things. She didn't even know it was model number 666 until she found it on the internet. And anyway, that's a little weird, but anyway, nonetheless, her folks cooked her breakfast in a skillet like this on the weekends back when she was a child. Her father did, and she somehow or another in the estate sale, after her parents passed away and the house got moved along with new owners, and somehow or another her brother or one of the family members, somebody swooped up the one that her and her father stood around the stove, the range top stove, cooking on. So she's been kind of looking for one for several years, and really didn't clue me into the fact that when we would look so hard for iron skillets and stuff, that is exactly what she was looking for. She just actually enlightened me on it in depth a few weeks ago when we got to searching on eBay and found different ones. You know, these little guys, some of them go for $150 if they're cured right. But anyway, I was going to show y'all. We wound up getting two of them. Wound up being around $80 for the two, including shipping. Very, very pleased with them. The one that looks the worst is actually going to be more ready. This one here, I need to actually burn it off in my barrel stove or in the fireplace in the house, and I'm not going to do that till this winter. I'm going to start with this guy here. Now, believe it or not, it looks worse than the other one, but it's clean. I don't think this one's ever actually been cooked in. I think that some moisture got in it. It got some surface rust. It's not pitted, and I've actually started fooling with it a little bit, and the surface rust is coming off really well. I think if I run a wire brush across it a little bit, get the worst of that knocked off, and then scrub it down and actually oven cure it, it should be okay. But well, there we go. About 10 seconds with a angle grinder with a wire brush attachment on it. Now to get in them corners. Well, alright guys, you know, this one here, that's going to need burning off. I can tell that it's been cooked in. I can tell this one right here has never even had a meal cooked in it. I bet you that thing's it's got to be 60 years old. It's got to be. I have to do some research on that. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm gonna bring you up to speed on this little guy. It's not done yet, but it looks much better, and I haven't done the editing yet, so I'm gonna try to get in there all the steps that I went through, but I'm gonna blow through them right quick before I put bacon on this thing. First off, it was rusty as could be. I took and I wire brushed and gave it rough sanding with sandpaper and wire brushed. Actually, the majority of what I did was wire brush, except for into the corners. I had to get in there with some sandpaper. But got it all slickened up, washed it real good in hot water, dried it real good. Then I took and just coated it with Crisco, a very, very thin coat of Crisco. I put it in my oven, 450 degrees in the house here, for about, I'd say, 6 hours. I pulled it out, and when I pulled it out, it was gold. It was a gold color. So I let it cool and recoated it again, and put it back in the next day for another probably 6 hours at 450 degrees, and this is what you get. Got the second good burn on it with Crisco. It's blackened up really nice, but it's still got some swirls in it. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to do bacon in it, and I'm going to finish the curing process with the bacon fat, the grease off of this bacon. I'm going to pour that up into an old soup can or bean can or something, and I'm just going to use the grease for off of this cooking to finish the curing process. So I'll show you all the rest of it later on. This may take more than a weekend. We'll see. But here's where we're at so far. I'll eventually show y'all doing some eggs and all in it, but for now, this is where we're at. So I'll bring you back in another day or so. Okay guys, here's where we're at so far. I couldn't stand myself. I had to go ahead and wire brush this one here off and go ahead and get it prepped up. I was going to burn it off in my stove later this winter, but I got to fooling with it out here one night, just messing around, and before I knew it, I had it almost wire brushed off and shiny, so I just went ahead and went the extra mile. So we're going to do this one as well. Is a finished product basically. As you can see, it's not 100% perfect yet. It's going to take cooking in it and cleaning it. And the big things when you're cooking with these guys is use wooden spoons or plastic spatulas, whatnot. Never ever try not to ever use any detergent on it when you're washing it. Just a scrub brush, a stiff bristle brush, and super hot tap water. And don't soak them. You know, once you get them good and all the food particles scraped off that might have possibly stuck with that bristle brush, wipe them down, give them a light coat of cooking spray or some sort of oil to keep any kind of oxidation from setting in, which really it shouldn't on it now that it's got this good coat. But if just in case it does get scratched and some moisture gets down to the metal, it could oxidize. So put you some oil on them and store them in a dry place. But this one has turned out really nice, I think. You can read the Griswold Colonial Breakfast Skillet, Erie, PA, USA, patent applied for. Oddly enough, model number 666. But this one here, I'm gonna go ahead and start on it today. Gonna do basically the same thing. Thin coat of Crisco. Run it through a couple of times, and once get it run through a couple of times, probably gonna cook a little bit of bacon up in it. Save the fat off of it, the bacon grease, and put that somewhere and finish the curing process up with bacon grease on it, because bacon grease is just the best. I mean, it's just it cures these things so well. So anyway, with that, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up. Y'all will be seeing it in different videos. You'll be seeing them both in different videos along and all. And so anyway, get your cast iron out, play with it. Don't be afraid to use it. Lots of like my daughters and lots of my friends are afraid of this stuff, but it's really it is the best stuff in the world to cook on. It's once you get familiar with it and you know the pitfalls of don't scratch the surface with a metal spatula or nothing like that, or once you're familiar with it, you can actually use a metal spatula and not damage it. But the trick is, don't just gouge at it. You gotta slip up under that food and flip it without taking your finish off, Same with the Teflon coated, the modern Teflon coated stuff. It says right on the packaging, you know, don't use metal spatulas and stuff, because that stuff scratches the coating off. Well, you're dealing with the same thing with these cast iron skillets. You've got yourself a good non-stick coating on there of which is, you know, your curing, your seasoning. And once that's on there, you want to take special care not to knock it off. So anyway, guys, hope everybody's having a great Labor Day. I don't know if I'll get this up for Labor Day weekend or not, but because I got some editing to do, because it took about 4 or 5 different shoots to get to this point. But anyway, guys, have a great one. 1952 Jeep out.